Popping baits are perfect baits to throw when you have schooling bass activity or when there's a bluegill spawn going on. I love to throw a popping bait. This is just a little generic popping bait. This one right here is a shad color, but they make them in bluegill color imitations, which are great when you have a bunch of bluegills up on beds. The bass are going to be post-spawn typically, and they will crush a little popping bait that's worked around, you know, shallow like gravel areas or up around docks where bluegill are going to spawn and bass are going to feed. So I said this is also a great schooling bait. When bass are in a schooling mentality, when they're hitting shad up on the surface, a lot of what they're doing in the splashing you see is them killing the bait before they come up to eat it. So I'll throw this popping bait in there, twitch it a few times, make it splash like something's chasing it or it's wounded, and then I'll just sit it there and I won't move it. And next thing you know, a big old bass will come up and slurp that bait under. It's a small bait, so typically when they grab this bait, they're going to get it. They eat the whole thing a lot of the time and get the whole bait in their mouth. Now, I like to use a pretty short action rod, or a short rod with a medium action. I want to use a rod that's maybe a 6'9" to a 7 foot, and it's something that's easy to make that bait pop. And when I'm fishing it around, you know, docks or shallow areas and trees and grass, that shorter rod will allow you to be a little bit more accurate with underhand casting, and it's just kind of the perfect rod to work that bait. Medium action will let it have a nice bend. When the fish grab on it, that rod will flex. And again, any topwater bait, you got to use monofilament. Don't make the mistake of putting fluorocarbon line on a topwater. It doesn't work. It'll make your bait sink down and it'll start to kind of dig your bait underwater, and it's not going to have the right option, the right action. So I would normally go with about 15-pound monofilament, 15-pound mono on the topwater popping bait. And this bait, again, big bass will crush this thing. They will come up and they'll absolutely just swallow this little bait. So get yourself the right rod, reel, and line, and go out and give this baby a try.